Okay, so one of the topics that we have not been able to get to is called the macromolecules. Basically, there are four major macromolecules essential for life. They are carbohydrates. Okay. Then we have our lipids. We have our proteins. And we have our nucleic acids. Now, when I say that these are macromolecules, that macro, of course, means large. And then you guys know what a molecule is. But these are the four major biomolecules or macromolecules necessary for life. One thing that we have to know about these molecules is what elements are present, their function, examples, and structure. So on your paper, you guys have a little chart. So let's fill that in together. Okay? So here we have carbohydrates. We have lipids. We have proteins. And we have your nucleic acids. Okay, and then going down the side, you need to know for each one, you need to know the elements present. Okay, you need to know the function of each group. You need to know examples. Structure. And then one thing that is not on your chart that you need to create another category for, you also need to know the subunits of each group. Okay? So first of all, let's talk about the elements present. Okay, this is how I remember this. Carbohydrates contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Now this is in a 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. Okay, for example, glucose is a carbohydrate. It's a sugar. Its ratio, its formula is C6H12O6. That is a 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. Lipids also contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, but in much larger quantities. Okay, proteins contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Okay, and then nucleic acids contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, and sulfur. Okay, so I just remember Cho, Chon, and Chomps in that order for the elements present in each macromolecule. Okay, functions. Your carbohydrates are for quick energy. It's their quick energy. Okay, lipids.
All right, you got an academic detention form I can have? You're thinking.
No, I record.
Ha!
I gotta start over.
Yeah!
I should have locked my door.
I need to sit there beating on it.
God, what if you can hear it?
Okay, and here
There's
you
gotta
go.
wait. There's
I
gotta
don't
be a
have
way.
any of them academic detention forms. I don't give them out. I just say you're coming to detention. I don't say that. Somewhere. Hey!
I'm just going to say something on there. Say, please ignore that information. But, that's what I'm going to say. Later. I'm so freaking unorganized this year. I get time to organize. Retake. Dress code slips. Tardy slips.
You ain't got none of that, do you?
Academic detention forms.
Is that on Dropbox?
Yes.
It is?
I think so. Proteins make up part of the cell membrane too. Other examples of proteins are your enzymes or proteins. Your collagen is made of protein. Your hemoglobin is made of protein, among many other things. Okay, and then for your nucleic acids, examples, of course, are your DNA and RNA. Okay? As far as structure goes, your carbohydrates are always going to be shaped something like this. And you'll understand that more if you ever take organic chemistry. Your lipids are shaped like this. Your proteins are made of amino acids, so they are shaped like this. And then your DNA and RNA, let's just do DNA. Remember, it is a double helix. Okay, and then the last category that I asked you to add was, the subunits. In other words, what are they made out of? Your subunits of your carbohydrates are something called monosaccharides, disaccharides, things like that. Okay, your subunits of your lipids are your 3 fatty acids and something called glycerol. You can see that in the structure here. These right here are your fatty acids, and this is the glycerol backbone. Your proteins are made of amino acids, and your nucleic acids are made of nucleotides. Okay, so let's go over your questions. Number 1, it says, what are the 4 major biomolecules necessary for life? It should be your carbohydrates, your lipids, your proteins, and your nucleic acids. Number 2, how many electrons does carbon have available for chemical bonding? We're not really worried about that, but the answer would be 4. Number 3, lipid is another name for fat. Number 4, carbon serves as the backbone of all the bioorganic molecules. Number 5, which bioorganic compound includes DNA, and that would be your nucleotides. Okay, now that answers your question, and you've already got your chart filled out. Let's look at a couple of these activities on the smart board here. Okay, one of the things that you need to be able to do is separate or know the difference between your carbohydrates and your proteins. So the first one is quick energy. Go ahead and be thinking about where you would put that. Quick energy is going to be your carbohydrates. Let's go to enzymes. That should be proteins. Carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. That should be carbohydrates. Made by plants. Has to be carbohydrates, because think about it. Your carbohydrates are your sugars and starches, your grains, so you're talking about your wheat, your barley, your rye, things like that. Glucose would be carbohydrates because it is a sugar. Carboxyl group would be part of a protein. 1 to 2 to 1 ratio would be carbohydrates. Your muscle, of course, is proteins, and your amino acids are proteins. Okay, and then your and then here's the difference between your lipids and your nucleic acids, and that's spelled wrong there, but you have one that contains nitrogen and phosphorus, so that should be your nucleic acid. Your genetic information should be your nucleic acid. Contains carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen should be your lipids. Fats and oils go under lipids. Nucleotides go under nucleic acids. Remember, for your fats, you do have saturated and unsaturated. Nucleic acids are your DNA and RNA. The ones that make proteins are your nucleic acids, because remember, it goes DNA to RNA to protein. And then, of course, the one that stores energy would be your lipids. And that concludes our lesson on macromolecules.